So, we have an update, a very, very long update on the Palworld and Nintendo lawsuit. Now, if you don't know anything about this, around about 7 months ago, because I just checked on my YouTube channel the first time that I covered this, Nintendo sued Palworld. Now, when people thought that Nintendo had sued Palworld, everyone thought that it was because of the characters. Because if you look at like the Pals and then the Pokemon, a lot of them look very similar. But at the same time, they're definitely not anything that you can sue over, especially because when it comes to imagery, it has to be like almost the exact same in order for you to sue over copyright. But what Nintendo was actually suing Palworld for was game mechanics, or patent game mechanics, which a lot of people, including myself, thought was absolutely fucking ridiculous. To me, I have always seen patented game mechanics as a hindrance to the gaming industry itself, as it stops a lot of innovation and making the gaming industry to be able to move forward. Like me, a great example for it is the Nemesis system that was featured in Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Great system, fucking amazing, but unfortunately Warner Brothers has patented it and actually shut down the development company that made it, and now no one can use it. So no one's able to use this amazing patent, go out and make video games. They can't do that. And that is what Pokemon or Nintendo has done to Palworld. They have stopped them from being able to use certain game mechanics in Palworld. And now we have an update on this lawsuit, as I am actually in the Discord for Palworld, and this got added into the Discord a few hours ago. And it says here, where we're going to read the entire thing, is that at everyone, regarding the lawsuit changes to Palworld and the future, we would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share as much information as we would like, but we trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is ongoing. Currently, we remain involved in prolonged legal proceedings regarding alleged patent infringement. We continue to dispute these claims and assert the my English is terrible, of the patents in question. However, we have had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to the development and distribution of Palworld. On November 30th last year, they released the patch version 0.3.11 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing pal spheres and instead changed it to static summon to the player. Several other game mechanics were also changed with this patch. As many have speculated, these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players feel the same frustration. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to an even greater deterioration of the gameplay experience for players, it was determined that this change was necessary. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that with this implementation of patch version 0.5.5, we must make yet another compromise. From this patch onward, gliding while performed using a glider rather than with pals. Pals in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to gliding, but players will now need to have a glider in their inventory in order to glide. We understand that this will be disappointing for many, just as it is for us, but we hope our fans understand that these changes are necessary in order to prevent further disruptions to the development of Palworld. We also want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and concern this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content to our fans. On behalf of everyone at Pocket Pair and Team Palworld, thank you again for your continued support. So I know there was a lot to go over. There was a lot there, and a lot of it was covering the old stuff and then into the new stuff as well, but I definitely felt like it was, necessary to read it out. Usually whenever I do videos and stuff like this, I usually don't read stuff for as long as that, but I definitely feel like it was definitely necessary to note every single thing that's there. Now, to when it comes to the old update, and when it came to of what they had to change in the past, I thought it was fucking ridiculous. I thought it was absolutely stupid, the fact that Nintendo can come out, sue Palworld, and that they actually have to change a mechanic in the game that's so simple. It's not like, at least with the Nemesis system, which I still think is dumb. This is not me making an excuse for it, but with that, it's like, that's a very complicated game mechanic. Extremely complicated. Like the systems for that are insane. The hierarchy, the social mechanics, everything about it is absolutely insane. But like the fact that they had to change a mechanic where they threw a ball and it summoned something is insane. And now the fact that they have to change it where you can no longer glide in the game with a PAL is even more insane. And you might be asking like, oh, Donnie, what game is this from? Because I didn't actually know what game this was from, but I went into the general chat and there was some people that were talking about it and they said that it was from Pokemon Arceus, where this is a screenshot from Arceus where you are gliding with your Pokemon, and you can also do that in Palworld. So because this was in Arceus, Nintendo's allowed to like take it out of the fucking game. It's just like, so does this mean that no game, if some game, right, they want to put in, like, it can be nowhere near related to a Pokemon or a Palworld, right? It can be something completely fucking different, but you have a pet in the game and you want to glide with it, so you're not allowed to do that anymore? This is fucking stupid. It's absolutely dumb. And you might say to me, oh, Donnie, you're overreacting. This is such a small thing that they've had to change. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how small or large something is that like Palworld or Pocket Pair is having to change within the game. The fact that Nintendo's even allowed to do this in the first place is the ridiculous part. They shouldn't be able to do this. And to me, what this is going to do, this will have a ripple effect. Because what this is going to do is that it's going to make other companies go, especially big AAA companies, see that Nintendo is able to get away with what they're suing Pocket Pair over and go, Nintendo's able to like get Pocket Pair to bend the knee, remove all these game mechanics. We can do the same thing as well. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to have a ripple effect, and all these other companies are going to start suing smaller companies because it's just like, oh, no, you copied this mechanic in your game that we have in ours, so you now have to take that out of your game, and only we're allowed to do that in it. And before you know it, the industry is just going to have a whole load of rules and restrictions on it, and it's going to stop so much innovation, and it's going to stop people actually wanting to make video games, and then we're going to get to a point where we're just filled with shit. I mean, it's bad enough these days that AAA is become AAA slop. Like, majority of the AAA games that get released these days are fucking terrible, and majority of the good games that come out are from like indie companies, or I would call them more AA companies. That's where the good games are coming out. Like, if you look recently of like what's the best games that have come out recently, one of them is Expedition 33, which is like a really small team of a whole bunch of ex-Ubisoft developers. If like a massive AAA company had to come out and say like, oh, this mechanic that you're using in Expedition 33, we did that 10 years ago, you have to now take that out, they can't do anything because they're being sued and taken to court by a massive fucking conglomerate. I'm frustrated with this stuff, and honestly, there should be more outrage. There should be something done. The fact that Nintendo's allowed to actually do this and get away with this stuff is ridiculous. If anyone is out there actually defending Nintendo over this, you have their dick so far down your throat that I'm surprised that you can even fucking breathe. And the thing that like scares me even more about with this statement is the fact that it's still ongoing. Like, how many more things is Nintendo going to be able to get away with when it comes to suing Pocket Pair? They shouldn't. This case should not have even gone to court. And I know that it's a lot of like majority of this, the reason why they're able to get away with this is because from what I've seen in the past is that Japanese like law of when it comes to all this stuff, it's really shit, especially on the side of the defendants. Like, Nintendo's just able to get away with so much because of Japanese law. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what country it's in. It doesn't matter that. It still is fucking stupid. I don't give a shit about like, oh, it's because of like Japanese. It's shit law. The fact that they're even able to do this is the ridiculous part. And I also just want to point out as well is that when this did get announced in the Discord, is that when I went into general chat, a lot of people were shitting on Nintendo in general chat, which is rightfully so, because, you know, Nintendo, man, their reputation is dropping. I mean, they still have a lot of like Nintendo dick riders. I would say that out of all the consoles, like when it comes to Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo fanboys would have to be the worst out of all three. But considering that like this ongoing lawsuit with Pocket Pair or Palworld, however you like, you know it, Pocket Pair's the company, Palworld's the game, and then also with the Nintendo 2 announcement with how much their console is going to cost, and then how much they're bumping their fucking games up to, where it's going to be $90 US and 110 Australian. A lot of people are just not happy with Nintendo at the moment. And you know what? Fuck them. Good. Their reputation deserves to go down the drain. They have been anti-consumer for a very long time now, and not many people have noticed it because they've just been like, you know, they've just been having the fucking goggles on, just not being able to see, like, no, I can't see, Nintendo looks perfect to me. No. They've been very anti-consumer for an extremely long time now. With the recent Switch 2 announcements and then also this lawsuit, people are starting to take the visors off and realize how shit Nintendo is. And you know what? Good. Because their reputation deserves to go down the drain. But I'd definitely like to hear what you have to think about all this down below. That's going to be it for me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.